Beautiful people. Beautiful people. We are live, and please let us know in the chats where you're tuning in from, whether you're on Facebook, you're watching this live, you're coming in, but want to give big waves to you. Let's start the Monday off with some waves going on. Randy, just kind of give us a thumbs up or something, buddy. Don't take two hands to do it. Good to see everybody, and we are excited for the week. I want to tell you, um, me and Andrea and Coach Myra Miles has got we got some special guests that's going to be tuning in over the next couple of weeks too, and I'm excited about that. So plan on that. We got one coming up this week, midweek. So we'll talk more about that later. But the word for today for everybody out there is prudent. Prudent. And I see Lisa and Patrick. Good to have you guys on. Prudent is the word for today. And I'll be honest, it's a word that is talked about, for all you Christian scholars out there. It's talked about in the Bible. And when I first looked at the word, I went, man, I I could be so much better at this because I feel like I'm a ready, shoot, aim person. Um, but then the more I thought about it, I had a second thought. So I just want to dive into it. If you look at prudent, it's acting with or showing care and thought for the future. And I got thinking about that. I mean, are you, and remember, this is me talking to myself, are you a forward thinker? Or are you more of a moment person, live in the moment? I think you got to be able to do both, right? To really thrive. But are you a forward thinker? I think prudent people are forward thinkers. Are you a visionary person? Do you have a vision? Can you see the vision for the future? Whether it's at your job, your work, your passion, your health, your relationships, like, is there a vision for the future? Well, I believe prudent people have a vision for the future, and prudent people are forward thinkers. Being prudent is someone who has good judgment and is careful and practical. Now, that's probably where I went, ooh, I don't know, because I see myself, you see all the flaws in yourself. So I see myself as ready, shoot, aim, sometimes making a poor decision. And feeling like I'm not being careful, I'm not being practical. Um, an example that I drew up of a prudent person is someone that would consult financial advisor a financial advisor before investing their money. They would sit down, they would take the meeting, they would consult before they put their money in. And they're careful and wise in handling practical matters. Erica tunes in every morning on our sorry about that. Erica tunes in every morning on our coach's corner. And I believe she's careful in her decision making. She's wise in handling practical matters based off my working with her. But I'll tell you what prudent people really do. And this is where I kind of gave myself a little bit of grace, because prudent people seek wise counsel. And I want to challenge you to do that today. Think about yourself in the areas you're wanting to grow. And do you have wise counsel? So let's say it's financial. Do you have a wise counsel or a person that you're seeking financial advice from? Maybe it's relationships. Do you have a counsel, someone that you're seeking advice from of how to better a relationship? Or maybe it's your health goals. Or maybe it's a new career that you're trying to learn. See, I believe that prudent people are the people that seek out mentors and they bend that mentor's ear to just ask advice, ask thoughts, work through situations, but ultimately seek wise counsel. So, Andrea, that was my thought process for Prudent. And when we were given this word, I was like, ugh. But it definitely is something, that is absolutely needed to flourish. And so I want to become more prudent. I'll turn it to you.
Well, I'm laughing a little bit because it was my word. So I'm sorry I made you not love it, but I saw it in a Bible study and I went, ooh, this is a lesson I need to learn. So that's why it was handed over. So to me, what I see, and I hear Dr. Crystal, and I'm sure this is a famous quote, but I only hear it in Crystal Vance's voice, which is digging your well before you're thirsty. To me, that's the definition of being prudent. Maddie has an opinion about it as well. But how? Like, how does a person develop prudence in their personality? So that's what I'm going to talk about. Oh gosh, if I can get my hand away from a puppy. So first of all, pause. So how can we be more prudent? Pause and take the time to truly think before we act. So sometimes we can, have things fly out of our mouth that are imprudent, right? Some things it can be, like Coach said, maybe making an investment without doing our research, whatever it may be, but take that time to truly think about the decision that you're going to make or the behavior you're going to have before you do it. And then second, decide what you know. And I think this can be something that we can get in our own way sometimes because maybe we think we have more information or less information on a subject. So, maybe you realize, am I already an expert on this subject? So I think about Coach. Okay, so he knows real estate, right? That's something that he knows. So for him to make a quick decision on purchasing a property, well, that's probably prudent on his part because he has knowledge about the real estate market here and different things like that. But if you flip it over to me, right? And if I were to just decide on, to purchase a property, that would not be prudent because I don't know anything about real estate in this part of the country. And sorry, guys. I can't make that decision quickly. So I would need to behave differently. So we've got to look at our knowledge. And then the other flip side of that is we have to figure out, where did we get that information? So sometimes maybe I think I know a person really well, but my information came from gossip, right? Like I got my information about them from gossip and I'm making that decision based on really nonsense. So I have to dig into myself because I might think I'm an expert when I'm really not. So figure out what you know and where you're getting that information from. And then 3, pay attention. So gather some facts, right? So maybe I need to do some puppy training and I could do a spur of the moment, just grab a trainer, or I could gather some facts on different ways to train a dog. I'm thinking about it right now because I've got a little beastie right here. But I need to gather facts to make that decision. So pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the different resources before you make that decision. And with that goes to number 4 of finding a mentor. So if I want, they say, you're going to become like the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? Well, let's make sure that some of those 5 are people we want to be like. Am I taking financial advice from somebody that's got a bank account that I would aspire for, or a real estate portfolio, or a well-trained dog, right? Am I taking my advice from an appropriate mentor? And then last, take action. And I think this was the biggest part of the lesson for me, because I think for myself, sometimes I might think I'm being prudent, but really I'm just being fearful. And I'm not taking action, and I'm not taking that step that I need for my future, to care for my future, because I'm afraid. So part of being prudent is taking that leap sometimes when it's the right thing for your future. So that's what I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Coach. We'll mute so that you don't hear Maddie anymore.
No, thank you, Andrea. And one of the things I want to end with today that I'd like to challenge us all to do, and maybe it's just me, but maybe you could find yourself in doing this. So many times in my journey in business and just life, I have drawn conclusions about people or a person based off something that might not be like really looked into. Does that make sense? Have y'all ever done that? Like where you draw a conclusion if you like someone, or somebody says, "Oh, I mean, you don't want to talk to him. I mean, he's a terrible human being," and you just draw that conclusion of, "Oh, it must be true." And so, as I studied this lesson, Andrea, and you brought it up through yours, one of the things that's biblical is to 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 do your due diligence, to do your research, to lean on facts, not just someone else's decisions or someone else's ideas of John Frick, or myself, or Joey Molstein. I mean, like really take the time in the sake of humanity to look and actually do your own research into that person, because you might come out with a different opinion. So thank you, Andrea, for this. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you. Go rock today. Remember this. Let's go find somebody today and make them have a better day because you and me showed up in their life. We love you guys.
Thank you,
Talk to you
Coach.
soon.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks, coaches. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, coach. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great
Guys,
day.
have a wonderful Monday.
Thank you. Thank
Love y'all.